What's up, YouTube fam? So it is your girl Jade. I am here today with a cooking tutorial. I will be making shrimp and lobster Alfredo pasta. What you're gonna need for this is pasta. I like thick spaghetti, but they don't have any, so this is from Wegmans. It is your regular spaghetti. You're going to need lobster meat. So this is lobster meat, again from Wegmans. You can get this at like Whole Foods. I'm pretty sure Superfood Town or your local whatever grocery stores in your state or neighborhood, you can get that. And then I like this lobster meat as well. It's the Lagostino lobster tails. So there's that. And then obviously shrimp. I buy it peeled and deveined already with the tail on because I just don't like doing that whole process. It takes too long to devein the shrimp and cut it and doing all of that stuff. So this is quick and easy. Just get it going. So first what I'm gonna do is boil the pasta. So you're gonna need a large pot, fill it up. Pretty simple. So I'm gonna do both boxes of spaghetti because I want this to last for at least 2 or 3 days. My husband likes to eat, so you know, you gotta make enough. Okay, once that's full, you're gonna put it on the stove. So the pasta's on the stove right here. And then I usually like to add a little bit of oil to the pasta. Sorry. So I have some olive oil here. I'm just gonna add like a drop of oil so it doesn't stick. And this is just shop and stop olive oil. This isn't the fancy kind. You can use that. And then I turn the stove on high. Add a little bit of salt to it as well. I use Himalayan pink salt. Okay, so yeah, Himalayan pink salt. And add a few dashes of that to the water. And then, of course, you're going to, I mean, this is simple stuff. Everyone knows how to pretty much, you know, dump it in. I don't typically break my spaghetti, so you can just dump that right in there and bring it to a boil. While that's going, we're gonna get the shrimp and the lobster ready and season it. So let me grab a scissor. So I have this here. So I'm gonna use the entire bag. And I'm gonna first clean it in this strainer. Get all that gunk off. What's this? And shrimp is really quick to cook. Ooh, it's hot. So it doesn't take that long. And I'm gonna sear these on the grill in a cast iron pan. So you're gonna wanna have like a pan like this to grill it in or sear it in once it's cleaned. Just gonna rinse that out. And I typically like to let the shrimp and lobster sit for a little bit so that the seasoning can get all in there. And then again, I'm gonna use this entire bag of lobster. And this is what it looks like. So it's like lobster tails, but it's just the meat. So it's like the full meat of just the tail. It's really good. Then I'm going to add the lobster meat, which is the claw. So you just peel this open. And these are like pre-cooked. So they're not gonna take that long. I'm just gonna rinse it off. Dump that in there. And then I have two. Here's another one. This is gonna be a really meaty very meaty sauce, and it will last for a while. You don't need to use this much, but I'm making this to last for like 3 days or so, hopefully, or 2 days, probably 2 days. Okay, so there's that. Then you are going to need to season. Sorry, I'm like drinking a little bit while what is this? Woodchuck hard cider rosé. So I usually like to have like a little drink while I'm cooking. Okay. So the seasonings that I use, you're gonna want paprika. This is your paprika. And I have these 2 bowls here. So you're gonna need some black pepper, some paprika. This right here is I don't know what is in this. This is like seasoning gold. Cavender's all-purpose Greek seasoning. You can toss this in dirt and it will taste good. I don't know what the heck is in it, but it is amazing and it is so hard to find. Initially I found this in Super Walmart. There's no Walmart over where I am right now. I would have to go to like Queens or something. But I know you can find this in like Super Walmart. And that's about it. That's the only other place I've ever seen it. But you can also get it on Amazon. So now I know if you ever run out of this stuff, you can get it on Amazon. This is like seasoning crack. I don't know what is in it, but it is good. It makes everything taste really good. Comment down below if you've ever tried this, had this, used this, and tell me what you think. Because I think this is like a game changer when it comes to seasoning. Cavender's all-purpose Greek seasoning. The bomb. Thank me later. Then you're gonna need some garlic powder, some salt. I like to use smoked salt. So this is Souders smoked salt. You can get this at Whole Foods. Pretty sure you get it at Wegmans or your whatever supermarket that's near you. And I also have a little bit of onion salt. And that's basically it. So this is what I'm gonna season the shrimp and the lobster with. Again, I have the pot going, boiling the pasta. And so you can just, I usually do this, I eye it, I eyeball it. I don't really have, I'm not good with like a teaspoon of this, quarter spoon of that. I don't really know what the hell, you know, that is when it comes to how much I use. I just literally eyeball it. So black pepper. I love garlic, so I'm like heavy on the garlic. This right here, your Cavender's Greek seasoning. Okay, then you want to do paprika. I don't do too much paprika because it's a little, it adds like that kick, so you don't need that much, but yeah. So you're gonna want to add the paprika. Okay. Right, and then just a little bit of onion salt. What is it? Actually, do you think you can hold the camera and film for me while I do this? Just a little bit of onion salt. Then you want to use your smoked salt. That's really good. That's enough. And then just toss this around. Make sure it smells so good. The smoked salt gives it that like smoky flavor that I like. If you guys have never tried it, try it. If you have tried smoked sea salt on your food, comment down below and let me know what you think about it. I think you can't go wrong with it. It's like a game changer. Once I started using it, I pretty much put it in everything so we can have like that smoky flavor. So you want to like, make sure that it's fully coated, toss it around, toss the seasoning around, make sure that it's good. Okay, and then here's the lobster. I'm just gonna do the same thing. Toss that around, make sure that it's fully coated. And the lobster breaks easily, so you just wanna be careful with how you toss it, so you're not like making shreds of lobster, inadvertently making shreds of lobster. I like huge chunks. My family like huge, like big pieces of meat. So there's that. Okay. Now, don't be weirded out, but I like to taste it just to make sure, not eat it. I'm gonna just taste the seasoning to make sure that it's right, and then go from there. So I pretty much eyeball taste, whatever. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm just gonna add a little bit more garlic to the lobster, and I'm gonna add a little bit more of everything. Again, this is to taste, so however you like it, these are the ingredients that I use. I usually have music going while I'm cooking, however, I know with this new YouTube thing that we're doing, there's all these copyright stuff, so I won't be hearing my favorite songs on here. Okay, so that's good. We're gonna let that sit for a second, and then I'm going to get the skillet ready, because fish tends to soak flavors pretty quickly, so you don't really need to like overnight it in your seasoning, or you know, let it soak for hours in the seasoning. It typically will just absorb the flavors quite fast. So while that's going, I'm gonna use this Mazola oil to fry or whatever, sear it. You're just gonna wanna fill the skillet up. Here, babe, can you come so they can see? Come closer. So you're gonna wanna put about, what is that? Half, like quarter of an inch of oil, so that you can fry the seafood in there. Okay. And then I use this to, sorry, I'm like all over the place. I've never given a cooking tutorial, but my husband said this would be a good idea since he likes how I cook. So here we are. So you're going to want to let this get hot. You know your oil's hot when you start to see like the bubbles, when it starts popping a little bit. So you don't want to put it in too soon because it's not that hot. And you want it to, you know, cook evenly and be ready to be cooked once you get started. And then I'm gonna just dump all of this in here. So as you can see, this is the lobster and the shrimp for the pasta. Holy guacamole. All right, so then, as this is going, I'm just gonna put my finger.
How it tastes?
Tastes really good. Tastes perfect. All right. Then for the sauce, for the Alfredo sauce, you are going to need black pepper. Again, some salt. I like to use the smoked sea salt. I use Bel Gioioso Parmesan cheese. This is the freshly shaved. It's like thin slices. I'll show you guys. Actually, here. So it looks like this. This is a freshly shaved Parmesan cheese. And I have Romano cheese from the same brand, Bel Gioioso Romano cheese, and then the same brand Asiago cheese. So these are going to be the cheeses that we're using to make the Alfredo sauce. You're gonna need some heavy cream. I like to use farmland heavy cream. And you're gonna need some butter. So I've got this Amish country roll butter that I use. Irish butter is very good. Any sort of Kerrygold Irish butter is amazing. This butter is really good. I like creamy butter, salted butter, not unsalted, bland butter. These are the best ones, I think, that gives it that creamy texture. And that is pretty much it. And as you can see, the pasta is it's getting there. It's boiling, so you can see how it looks. Again, I don't break up my pasta. I like to keep it long, so you get like the full length of pasta, so it's not like little tiny pieces. And that's basically it. So in the meantime, while the oil is getting hot, so you're in the pan to do your sauce and toss the meat in. So I like to use this, I guess, skillet, so to speak. This is Chrissy by Chrissy Teigen, and I use it. It's a non-stick skillet. So once I finish searing the shrimp and the lobster, you transfer it into this pot with the cheese and toss it. So I'm gonna show you how you do that. So first, I'm gonna cut a nice chunk of butter, right? So here's the butter here. And babe, can you put the camera down because it's high up and you can't see what I'm doing. So you're gonna wanna cut, I use a lot of butter. So here, I'm gonna wanna use about this much. I don't know what that is, but I would say, I might use a little bit more actually. So this much of butter goes in the pot. Again, I don't know what terms are for half of, these are cups and stuff. So you're gonna let that melt down. This is still going. You want your fire for your shrimp and lobster on medium high. You're gonna want the butter on medium high. Let it melt down. So here it is. You've got the butter melting. You've got the pasta going. This is getting hot. So once the butter melts, I'm gonna grab a spatula and then just let it melt. Let it melt, let it melt, let it melt. Got a nice amount of butter in there. And then we are going to add the cheese. So I add, doesn't matter what order, obviously. You're gonna wanna put the full thing. I use the entire thing of Asiago cheese. Dump that in the pot with the butter. Your Romano cheese, right here. Okay, you have your Romano cheese. Oops. And then you're going to dump that as well. And actually, let me lower this down a little bit to medium. It's melting pretty quickly. And then your Parmesan cheese, you're gonna dump that in as well. I actually know about Parmesan cheese, and I think I have another one. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So here's another Parmesan cheese. So again, you can do this to your liking. You don't need to use the exact amounts that I use, but that wasn't a lot of Parmesan cheese, and I like the flavor of freshly shaved Parmesan. So we're gonna dump that entire thing in there, right? And it's gonna melt. So, and now you can hear that the oil is almost ready because it's popping. Now while that's melting, you're gonna add your heavy cream. Now I eyeball this, but what I'm gonna do today, just so that you guys can see, this is 1 cup right here. So I know I'm gonna need more than 1 cup for sure. Oh my God, this is chunky. So this goes in here. 2 cups. So 3 cups. We'll do 3 cups to get it started. That's what that was, because otherwise I wouldn't have known how much I used to tell you guys. And just toss this around. And the heavy cream basically thickens the base for the cheese, right? So this is gonna melt down and turn into a sauce. And in addition to that, like I said before, you're gonna wanna use your black pepper. This is McCormick black pepper. It's probably in every cabinet around the country. Just toss some of that in there. Again, I like to eyeball stuff. I don't have like a, how many teaspoons, I don't even know. I shake it until I feel like it's good. So that looks good to me. And then some smoked sea salt. Now the cheese is a little bit salty, so you don't need a lot of this. This is going to, you just need a little bit to give it like a hint of smoky flavor. So that's enough. And this is melting down. And this is basically it. This is gonna melt. Once all the cheese is melted in, it'll turn into a very thick sauce with the aid of the heavy cream and the butter. And that'll give it a nice consistency throughout. Now, while that's going, I'm gonna get the shrimp and lobster into this oil. So you wanna just, as you can see, put them a little bit off on medium. Get the lobster and the shrimp in there. Right. So you got the claws. Get all of that in there. Now I have a lot, so typically I would just, you know, throw all of this in there. Cool. And that's how that looks. So I've got a lot going. So all of this has to get in there and be transferred. And then continue stirring your sauce so that it's really thick and smooth. As you can see, it's the cheese is just, you know, it's nice and creamy, but it's not melted all the way down yet. You can still see like chunks of cheese.
That looks good.
But it will melt down completely into a base. And that's how I make my Alfredo sauce. I don't buy Alfredo sauce anymore. Thanks to Sue. Thank you, Sue, for that Alfredo sauce recipe, because I was buying, you know, the store brands, Newman's and whoever else, Prego and blah, 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 Alfredo. And you think it's good, it tastes good when that's all you use, until you make your own. And since I've been making my own Alfredo sauce, I can't tell you the last time that I purchased Alfredo sauce from the supermarket in a jar. And now to me it's so disgusting, like it just doesn't taste as good. So this is this here. Now once this is done, so this is all lobster because the shrimp is at the bottom and it doesn't take long to cook. So what I'm gonna do once it's finished, get yourself a paper towel to drain the excess oil, and transfer it to a plate so that it can rest from the heat. Okay. Yeah, these don't take long to cook at all. Like when you see it's like a little golden brown on here, like this, that's how you know it's pretty much ready. I would say maybe like 5 minutes to 10 minutes or so tossed around. No more than that, because you don't want your lobster to be hard and chewy. You still want it to have like a nice flavor going. And yeah, so you just want to like see how it's doing. Make sure your fire, I could actually turn this up a bit because it's a little low. And again, if you look at the cheese is pretty much good to go. I'm just gonna lower it all the way to low. Once it gets to like that boil, you can lower it down so that it's not curdling. So right now this is pretty much smooth. This is how you want the consistency to be. The cheese is still in there, it's still, you know, cheesy, but it's very smooth, and that's basically how you want it. Now this should be enough sauce for all of this meat that I have. If not, I will just make more. And I'm just gonna taste it because I'm a taste fanatic. I wanna make sure that it's good. You gotta taste it as you go along. So I'm just gonna take a little tiny bit, but it's freaking steaming, so I'm gonna just let it.
Good?
It's so good. You wanna try it?
Yes, I do.
Okay. He has to try everything, so I'm gonna let the husband try it.
Jesus.
Get out the camera. It's good?
Yes, it is.
So that's how you make your sauce. As long as I have his approval, that's it. I don't care. You guys don't have to like it. As long as my husband likes it, that's it. You don't have to like it.
You're right
If he
about that.
likes it, that's all I need. He eats it. I eat it.
It's great.
But I can tell you it's good. It's definitely good. So now the sauce is complete. It's literally done. It has this nice creamy texture to it. Has a little bit of a smoky flavor from the smoked sea salt and all three cheeses blended. Some people only use Parmesan cheese. Some people use the Parmesan and Asiago. I like to add the Romano. If I don't have it, then I'll just make it however. But that's typically, you know, what you need to get it going. And then I'm just gonna check on the pasta again to make sure that it's cooked. So this is pretty much almost done. I'm just gonna take out a noodle or two, whatever, so to see how cooked it is. I don't think it's done yet. Oh, it actually is. That's crazy. It's actually done. It could go for like 5 minutes, but it's good. Okay. And then here, now we're gonna just transfer these out. We're gonna take out all of the lobster and transfer it onto the plate. And then add the next batch. And I'm gonna try these two to make sure that it is to my liking. Ooh la la. So this is how you want it. This is a small piece, but this is pretty much how you want it to look when you know that it's done. It has like a golden sort of color to it. Golden whatever. So there's that. I'm gonna get them all out. And then you just keep doing these batches until you're, you know, finished with your seafood. So you can do this. I like shrimp and lobster. You can also use scallops, seared scallops, or you can sear your scallops. I have scallops in the fridge, in the freezer as well. I could have used that, but this is like my favorite. Or you can use like any type of fish, your favorite fish. I mean, I would suggest probably like you have halibut. You can do I don't know why I'm not thinking, but your fish. I wouldn't say salmon or anything like that, but your little like a tilapia, basa, something simple. You can use any of those. All right. Okay. So we've got a lot to get going, so I'm probably gonna, let me see. I ain't gone. You have to try it.
Dang, girl.
It's good.
Absolutely.
I'm sweating. I'm so good. And you can continuously keep your sauce on low, on the lowest your fire goes, or your some people don't have gas stoves, on your electric stove. Keep it on low, and you can keep it on the pot continuously until you're done. so that it doesn't harden or, you know, toughen up, and it'll stay smooth. It won't, you know, get firm. So that's basically that.
Now let me taste that.
Woo.
How it taste?
Gonna get the kids' approval. How's it
2
taste?
thumbs up.
Good.
It's good?
Never stop liking it.
Okay. Wow, that is really good. I'm gonna hold you guys up. It is really good. Oh, pasta's done. Let me transfer this. Get your pasta out of the pot. Strainer. And you're just gonna, whew, this is heavy. As a matter of fact,
You got it?
get my pot holder because it's a little bit hot. So you're gonna transfer your pasta into your strainer, like so, obviously. Whew. Okay. Ooh, la, la. And then, once you have it here, I don't typically rinse my pasta off again and give it a cold shock. Some people like to give their pasta a cold shock with cold water. Once it's transferred, I don't really see the difference when I eat it, so I don't really care for that. I think it's so it doesn't stick. I'm not sure, but whatever floats your boat, do it. And then you transfer it back. Dunzo, like so. It's 2 things of pasta. The cheese is still going, right? And then we've got the lobster and the shrimp. Looks great. I'm actually gonna turn it up a little bit more so we can get this cooked. Okay. So, this is basically it. This is a really quick, simple meal. It takes 2 seconds. It literally takes only like 20-30 minutes to cook your pasta. I had 2 boxes, so it took a little bit longer. If you have 1 box of pasta, it's not gonna take that long. The sauce literally takes about 10 minutes to, not even, probably 5 minutes to make. And then depending on how much fish you have, that'll determine obviously how long that takes, because you have to keep transferring the fish out of the oil and then into the plate. But in all, this literally, if you're doing a regular batch with maybe like 1 bag of shrimp only, or maybe 1 bag of shrimp and 1 thing of lobster, it should only take you to transfer and do it maybe about half an hour, 45 minutes tops. It's just because I'm using 1 full bag of shrimp, 2 batches of lobster, and 1 full bag of lobster tail, whatever. So that's why it'll take a little bit longer, but this is a very, very, very quick and easy meal. And then once these are done, once the shrimp and lobster is done from here, I'm gonna transfer it into the sauce. You're gonna dump all of this once complete into your Alfredo sauce and toss it around, toss it around, toss it around. Some people like to dump their sauce directly onto their spaghetti. That's not how I do mine, but if it's how you do yours, by all means, whatever floats your boat, get it going. But yeah, so we're just gonna turn these, make sure they're nice and golden. This is literally so good. Look at this chunk right here, this lobster claw. This right here will make you slap your mama.
So silly.
Mama. Slap your mama. Getting one of these pieces in there, oh my God. It's freaking life. Heaven. This, I don't care what anybody says about Red Lobster. I go to Red Lobster for Lobster Fest just for this meal. Lobster Fest at Red Lobster for the shrimp and lobster Alfredo pasta every single time. Like, I have to have it. I don't go to Red Lobster any other time. We only go just for this. Like, I don't care what else they have. They can have Shrimp Fest. They can have This fest, that fest, I'm going for lobster fest for my Cheddar Bay biscuits and my shrimp and lobster Alfredo pasta. I'm not playing any games.
Talk about it. Preach.
That's what it is. But I can make my own because Lobster Fest. First of all, we're still in quarantine, so who the heck knows when is the next time we're gonna be able to go to Red Lobster? Who the heck knows? See this piece? Woo. This is how you want. I know I'm dripping it on the stove, but this is how you want your lobster to look. So once your pieces start looking like that, then you can transfer it. Then you can transfer it to the plate. Woo. Okay. It's taking a little bit long because I have a lot in here. Another shrimp in here. I gotta cut it. Make sure that it's good. This one is good. So, this is the shrimp. I buy it tail on. So this is how your shrimp should look. Nice and golden on both sides. That going. Get it, get it, get it. Get it now, get it now. Once I see that it's done, I'm gonna get another pot going to try to speed this up a bit. So I'm just gonna move this back, put this up. These are pretty much done. So I have another pot going so I can speed up the process because I still have a lot of lobster and shrimp left. This is what it looks like once it's done. This is how it looks. It's super hot, but yeah, this is how it looks when it's finished. Okay, let that get going. So all of these can come out. This is all done. So you just want to transfer everything like I said. Once it's finished, and fried nicely. Now I'm pretty much down to the shrimp. This is like the nitty-gritty. Boom. Okay. So this is about one batch left to be cooked in the oil, and that's about it. And then we're done. After that, we're gonna transfer everything from, like I said, to the sauce, from the plate to the sauce, and let it go from there. So what I'm doing is I'm just tossing the ones that I see can be turned. That's basically it. what you want your shrimp to look like when it's done. It's nice and golden and crispy. Sort of like, you know.
That's good.
This is how it looks. That's done. So you guys can see, shrimp is done. Turn the stove off. Okay, so here is one batch that is done. There's lobster, there is shrimp, all of this is done. So then, what you're gonna do is transfer this into your Alfredo sauce. The sauce is still on low, it's still going, so you're gonna dump all of this into the Alfredo sauce, like so. Just like so. And by the looks of it, yeah, we can add a little bit more in here. So you guys are gonna see how this looks. You're just gonna toss it around, toss it around, toss it around, toss it around. Make sure you get all that cheesy goodness on there. And then I have this top layer too. What I'm gonna do is transfer, because I put 2 sheets of paper to catch the oil. So I'm also gonna do this top piece and dump that in there as well. All right? Cool. Again, toss it around, toss it around, toss it around. Toss it around. Make sure you get everything, all of the shrimp and lobster gets coated. You know what the hell? I'm gonna do all of it anyway, so this is the last piece, the last set. Dump that in there. And that's it. Voila, magic. Done. So you're gonna toss this. Let me see if I can show you guys how it looks. And then you're gonna, can you come over here so they can see? You're gonna toss this all in here. Make sure that everything is coated. I actually have a lot of meat, so the sauce doesn't look like it's so much, but we're gonna work with it. All right. Make sure that all of the meat is covered, all of your lobster and shrimp is covered. Just like so. And that's basically it. Then you serve your family. We're gonna get some spaghetti here, right? She's not gonna eat that much, so that's more than enough. And then you're gonna take your sauce and just pile it on, just like that. Boom. Done. And now if you have just the sauce, you want to just, drizzle the sauce on, you can do that. And that's basically it. You have shrimp and lobster Alfredo pasta. That's basically it. Done. Finished. we're trying to be
That's
healthy and not eat so much. So I'm just gonna serve, oops, ours now. Just a little bit more. Got it? And then all up in here.
Good, good. Thank you, Jesus.
Dripping in the sauce. There's one. Another one, I should say. And another one. Look at the sauce. And that's it. That is it. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you ever made this. If you do make this recipe and if you like it, make sure you hit that like button, comment on this video, and let me know how it tasted if you made it. Subscribe to our channel and let me know what you think. Let me know if you'd like me to do any other cooking videos or tutorials. That's basically it. I hope you liked the video. This is one of my favorite recipes. It tastes amazing. My family loves it. I love it. So I figured why not? My husband said I should share it with you guys, so I shared it. And that's basically it. See you guys on the next one.